Good morning and a happy Wednesday morning to everybody. I hope you are having an absolutely fabulous day. There will be no royal family video today, again, due to content. You know, they're all on vacation. I can only put up what I have. So there's 3 videos today. First video, again, split into 2 because it was so long, but no royal family video. So you're going to want to watch all 3. Let's jump in and cover today, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with a blind item that came out saying that Meghan will not be donating any money of her own to this whole, parent network. Well, why is that a surprise? She's never donated any of her own personal money to anything. Next up, a big thank you to Stephanie Sidley from the Sidley twins for this. Meghan pointed out that she hasn't scraped the surface of her experiences in the royal family, but a lot of people went online right after the Oprah show claiming that Meghan had receipts for all of her claims of abuse. Do you guys remember this?
She's really a very sweet, caring person. And as I say, Meghan has documents to back up everything that she said on Oprah's interview.
I know that the family and the staff were well aware of the extent of it. And though their recollections may vary, ours don't, because we lived through it with them. And there are many emails and texts to support that.
Have you spoken to her about coming on this show today?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I talk to them all of the time. We watch the special together, actually. Yeah. The truth will come out. There's plenty of emails and texts about that.
And do you believe there are more truths to come?
Yes, I think that I feel, I didn't plan to say this so much, but I really do feel like we're in a new era.
Did you guys happen to catch what Meghan's friend there said at the end? Let me replay it for you again. Listen carefully.
To them all of the time. We watch the special together, actually.
Yeah. There were multiple pictures and videos taken of Harry and Meghan watching themselves on the Oprah show. We know because it ended up in the Netflix show, and those were taken by Doria. That girl flat out lied. She was not there watching the show together with them. And another thought came up. How could Gayle King and her friends say that they had emails and texts? Because if you remember, Meghan's comments to the UK court was that she had forgotten about the message that she sent to Jason Kanoff because all of her messages and text messages are auto-deleted. Her emails and text messages are auto-deleted. That's what she told a court of law right after she got caught lying, saying she, didn't help with finding freedom. But I think what that shows is that she lied again. Because if this stuff was auto-deleted, which is what she claims, then how does she have the text messages and the emails that Gayle King and this other woman said she had? Another thing that was pointed out was that Meghan wanted this segment to be about her. The fact that she laughed and said, I didn't realize you were going to go there, but I'm so glad you did. And then she starts talking again about her pain, her trauma, what she survived. So there's 2 parts to this. Number 1, she has once again co-opted all the attention. Nobody's talking about this parent network. Instead, everybody's talking again about Meghan's supposed suicidal ideation. I just want to remind you guys that it was October of 2019 when Harry and Meghan announced a 6 weeks off break to spend some family time together. And that's when they first went to Vancouver. And then in January of 2020, they announced they were stepping back. Meghan was only in the family a few years, and she only did a total of 72 engagements. She wasn't there for 50 years, but her entire narrative seems to be based on these 3 years. Now, the next point that I think is super important is the parents who told heart-rending stories about their children. Here are 2 of the children.
Whose son Eli died when a painkiller he bought online was actually a lethal dose of fentanyl. And Jensen, whose son Tanner died from an overdose of drugs pushed online.
So for those 2 kids, it was not cyberbullying. It had nothing to do with cyberbullying. It had to do with drug usage. So let me remind you that Harry, who wants to save these children, admits to heavily drinking, using marijuana, cocaine, and magic mushrooms when he was younger, and also admits that he has ongoing drug use. So this man who wants to help save these children from the evils of the internet where they bought their drugs is himself a heavy drinker and drug user. Could somebody please explain to me what makes him appropriate to try to stop these kids from using drugs when he himself said that using these drugs, wiped off the windscreen for him and helped him? He's a role model. Maybe the fact that these kids bought these drugs is because they watched his interview where he said with Mr. Mateo, that doctor, saying that the drugs were good for him. Now, with all of this, Lady Doy on Twitter came up with some questions that Jane Pauley should have asked Harry and Meghan, which I think are fabulous. When they started talking about the kids, she should have said, well, tell me about your amazing children, Meghan. What brings them joy? And who do they like to have play dates with? Harry, you've talked in the past about receiving mental health support yourself. Why didn't you get Meghan professional help when she told you she was suicidal? You guys are talking today about the importance of family support, so why haven't you, Harry, met Meghan's father? And how much responsibility do you take for the estrangement from your own family? And Meghan, your father just turned 80. What would it do to take you to end your own estrangement with him, which is probably harming his mental health? Meghan, you've spoken publicly about your admiration for Catherine, the global icon. Tell me, what is it you admire about her? One of the things also that came out of this interview was when Meghan Markle reached over and touched Harry's leg. And so, of course, these two who are not on social media have put out some information in some articles to try to talk about it. And what they're saying is that she's really revealing her true emotions, that she appears to reach out to Prince Harry for support, and that Meghan was seeking solace from her husband's presence, and that the smile that she gave suggested she was being politely brave. And that Harry sat looking at her, looking concerned. He's not looking at her. That's a lie. And when you see Harry looking down, rubbing his fingers together, which we did see earlier, that's anxiety. I have to be honest, I think she's holding his leg to keep him from talking. I think that was a signal to shut up and let her do all the talking. All right, you guys, hit the like and the subscribe and the bell for all notifications, and then go into the description box and find the link to video number 2 and follow me over. Let's go.